All right, for today's news brief, we're diving into something you see all the time but probably never think twice about. You know the one, that little spinning just a moment screen? Turns out it's way more than just a loading screen. We're going to pull back the curtain and show you what's really going on. So picture this. You click a link, you're ready to go, and bam, you hit this page instead. It just feels like a little hiccup, right? A tiny speed bump on your way to wherever you're going online. Okay, this is where it gets really interesting. That pause, it's not your Wi-Fi struggling, and it's not the website being slow. Nope, it's something active, something totally intentional happening right inside your browser. So the big question is, what is it doing? And here's the answer. It's not a bug, it's a feature. Think of it less like a waiting room and more like a high-speed security checkpoint at an airport. In that tiny moment, the website is running a check to make sure of one very important thing, that you are actually a human being. Now, to really get why this check is so critical, you have to understand that there's this constant, invisible war happening on the internet. It's a fight against these automated programs, bots, that are just crawling all over the web, and a lot of them are not up to any good. I mean, the difference between how we use the internet and how they do is just night and day. A real person, you click around, you scroll, you read. A bot, on the other hand, is just hammering the site with thousands of requests a second. It's trying to scrape data, overload the server, or find a way to break in. They leave totally different digital fingerprints. So, you can see why websites need a bouncer at the door, right? They need someone who can instantly tell the difference between a friendly visitor and a hostile bot, and then show that bot the door, all while letting the rest of us in without a hassle. Well, that just a moment screen, that's your bouncer. So how does this bouncer actually work? The best way to think about it is like a secret digital handshake. It's this little challenge and response routine that happens completely in the background, right in your browser, in the blink of an eye. It's a really clever three-step dance. First, the website sends your browser a tiny invisible puzzle. It's usually some kind of math problem that's super easy for your browser to solve, but a real pain for a simple bot. Then your browser solves it and sends the answer back as proof. And finally, if the answer is correct, you're in. Verification complete. And this right here, this message is the big clue to how it all happens. It's not just a friendly suggestion, it's literally telling you the two tools your browser needs to pull off that secret handshake. First up is JavaScript. Think of JavaScript as the engine, the actual investigator that gets its hands dirty. It's the code that runs inside your browser to crunch the numbers and solve that puzzle. Without JavaScript enabled, the test can't even start. And then, you've got cookies. Once you pass that test, the website gives you a cookie that acts like a digital ID card, or maybe like a temporary pass. It basically tells the website, hey, this one's cool, I already checked him. That's why you don't have to do the check on every single page you visit. Okay, so your browser uses JavaScript to solve the puzzle, it gets its cookie, and then it receives the all clear signal. And that's when you finally see this beautiful little message flash on the screen. Verification successful. The handshake worked. Your browser proved it's the real deal and access is granted. And what's just wild is how fast this all is. We're talking fractions of a second. The whole process, the verification, the new requests, the server responding, it all happens in less time than it takes to blink. That moment they ask for, it really is just a moment. So let's wrap this up. Why should we care about this tiny, almost unnoticeable pause? Well, because its impact on keeping the internet running smoothly is actually huge. That little check is the first line of defense. It keeps websites from getting knocked offline by bot attacks, it protects data from getting scraped, and maybe most importantly, it makes sure that you, a real person, get a fast and fair experience online without having to compete with a million bots. So, the next time you see that just a moment screen, you'll know it's not a glitch, it's your browser doing its part to keep the web safe for everyone. Which kind of leaves us with one last thought. As these bots get smarter and smarter, this whole cat and mouse game is only going to get more intense. So what do you think the next generation of this digital handshake is going to look like?